Alrighty, ladies and gentlemen, welcome to welcome to YAZAR Podcast. I am YAZAR, of course. And real quick, I'm just going to speak off the dome. You know what I'm saying? I have no notes ready, and I'm just thinking in my mind. I'm like, is this the worst WrestleMania build-up of all time? And of course, I'm not, wasn't born in the '80s. You know what I'm saying? I wasn't born in the early '90s. I was born in the late '90s. 99. So, I'm just going to give you my take. And I would say, yes, it is the worst WrestleMania build-up. Because is there really any anticipation going into this year's WrestleMania? The answer is no. Is there any excitement? The answer is no. So WWE has not done their job in building WrestleMania the way it needs to be. I mean, let's go into one of the more anticipated matches that really was supposed to have you really on the edge of your seat. Bianca Belair versus Sasha Banks. I mean, what can we say? Two of the most dominant female wrestlers, in their particular NXT eras. You know what I'm saying? Two different NXT eras. Got the most dominant athlete, the new phenom in WWE, Bianca Belair, versus, the best counter wrestler in WWE's history. Or in WWE right now. In Sasha Banks. I mean, people have been wanting them to face off for years and years and years. And now we finally got it. And you made it about Reginald. You made it about the tag team titles. Now Sasha Banks is calling Bianca Belair a rookie. I mean, that's not how you build a feud. I mean, WWE has forgotten a formula of how to build a champion versus challenger feud. And it's not hard. It's really not. And that's what's pissing me off. Like, it's like you're sabotaging really all your feuds. I mean, I know it's going to be a great match, but simple stuff. This is something you really should have let Triple H take care of. Honestly. Because you could have had some video... it's simple, right? You could have had some video packages of different superstars talking about Bianca. Who do you think is going to win the match? How similar they are, how different they are. Why Sasha Banks loves wrestling so much. Talk about how Bianca Belair is a multi-dimensional athlete. That's what draws you to him. What's the relationship here? How is the fans going to connect to this? That's it, man. It's not hard. The other women's match, right? Two women who have never faced off. Rhea Ripley versus Asuka. Now, Charlotte Flair came out and said she had COVID last Monday. COVID-19. So I'm guessing she was pulled from WrestleMania. Also, she said that the doctors thought she was pregnant, so that's why also they pulled her from WrestleMania. So Charlotte will be a part of WrestleMania, whether she's added here, and she was supposed to be the original opponent for Asuka, which would have made no sense because her and Asuka faced like 50 times over. I don't care for the match. I don't want to see the match, and I don't want to see Charlotte Flair. So Rhea Ripley, great addition. Rhea Ripley should have came into Monday Night Raw after the Royal Rumble, where she had the most momentum. What was the point of having video packages for almost 6 to 8 weeks when we know who Rhea Ripley is? She was at WrestleMania last year, the grandest stage of them all last year. She appeared on Raw a couple times during her feud with Charlotte Flair. So the main roster people or fans have an idea of who Rhea Ripley is. She was in the Royal Rumble. She was part of the last two Bianca Belair. That's the momentum you needed to carry going into the Raw after Mania. That's when Rhea Ripley should appear. And she should have been running through the whole entire Raw roster. Get Asuka at WrestleMania. and that's that. So Rhea Ripley comes out on a random audition, interrupts Asuka after Asuka beats Peyton Royce, points at the WrestleMania side, says he wants Asuka and gets the match. Now, am I really mad at that? Nah, I'm not, because who else was gonna face Asuka? Some people are saying Naomi. Some said Naomi beat Asuka. I don't remember that. But Naomi is occupied in a tag team. So, I mean, from a momentum standpoint, you look at Rhea Ripley, you ain't got no damn choice. Mia Yim, have they used Mia Yim appropriately? The last thing we saw of Mia Yim, she lost to Dana Brooke. So, Mia Yim's like 0 for 1 on Raw. She literally had one match. So she does not have no momentum behind her. Who else? Shayna Baszler got like a 20 to 30 match losing streak in the singles competition. No lie. For the last couple months, Shayna Baszler has been nothing but a loser. This is what it is. So Rhea Ripley, Asuka, I'm looking forward to it. One thing that did piss me off was the table spot last night where they had Rhea Ripley shove the table in Asuka's head. You know what I'm saying? A potential concussion spot right there. Luckily Asuka is okay, but you gotta be very careful. Asuka got certain thing in her mouth that her mouth needs to heal for 6 months, which means I believe she has certain dentures or something like that to hold her teeth together. So it's very sensitive in her mouth. That's not somewhere you can play with her head or face situation. And we know the toughness of that woman, but she's a woman at the end of the day. And she's a mother, which I had no idea about that. So gotta be very careful, And at this point, I think Asuka needs to leave the WWE. Because do they appreciate her? No. Do they appreciate Kairi Sane? No. I'm getting tired of Triple H promoting these certain talent as the next great thing out of Japan, and then only to get buried on the main roster. Io, Asuka, all these Japanese talent, you might as well turn your behind right back to Japan. Because the WWE does not value you at all. Look at Nakamura. What has Nakamura been doing? Loser. Plain and simple. That's what it is. What's the point of bringing him here? So yeah, that pissed me off. Roman Reigns, Edge, Daniel Bryan. This should have been really easy. I honestly thought Daniel Bryan should have won the Royal Rumble, and he needed it. I felt like there was this more story to tell with Roman Reigns and Daniel Bryan, because Daniel Bryan really is responsible for all the hate Roman Reigns got throughout the years, you know what I'm saying, when they were trying to make him a babyface. So you can go back to the 2015 Royal Rumble, where Rey Mysterio came out at number 30. They wanted Daniel Bryan to come out. Daniel Bryan didn't come out. Rey Mysterio was number 30. They booed Rey Mysterio. They booed Roman Reigns. So they have history that they could have done. And of course, they had the match at Fastlane. Fastlane was excellent. And I'm like, if Edge and Roman Reigns were the face at WrestleMania, I'm like, Daniel Bryan and Roman Reigns already beat their match of whatever they're going to create at WrestleMania. And come to find out, Vince McMahon said that Edge was too old to have a one-on-one match with Roman Reigns. It didn't look right. And I've been saying it too. Edge does look a bit gassed in the ring. So his cardio needs to be up to par, you know what I'm saying? But he's almost 50 years old, so he does need to slow down. He's come back from a torn bicep, remember that? So, he may be a little bit more cautious, more relaxed on his body. But I do appreciate Edge, for his promos, and I'm glad he's a heel, you know what I'm saying? And that's how he always needs to be presented. And I think it's perfect because a heel, you take the cheap way out. And with Edge's age, you know what I'm saying, with his low durability, I think that's the best way to go. Cheat his way into certain things, you'd be, you're more slippery, I should say. So, he's going to cheat his way to a victory. But this is a three-way. Roman Reigns, excellent. Daniel Bryan's excellent. It should be a great match. And they finally picked it up the last couple weeks going into this. But in the beginning, were you really excited for this? Edge versus, Roman Reigns. I guarantee the answer was no. Who wanted to see that? Spear versus Spear? What is it based off? Other than Edge won the Royal Rumble. Apollo Crews and Big E. The best storyline in WWE right now. And this was excellent. Apollo Crews started just about 2 months ago. He was answering the Open Challenge, Intercontinental Championship challenges to Big E. He lost to Big E. Then he lost again to Big E. Apollo went on talking smack. Paul Heyman put a fire under his ass. You know what I'm saying? Then you start to see an evolving Apollo. Apollo started to get more aggressive. You see Roman Reigns in the back giving Apollo tips, on a SmackDown edition. Apollo starts to get a couple victories. Then he starts to put people on the shelf. And then he puts Big E on the shelf. Turns heel, accepts and gets into his culture, and it's incredible. It's incredible. I love the intensity these two are working with, and this has Paul Heyman's DNA all over this. Because I don't think I will see Bruce Pritchard or Vince writing a storyline like this. This is all Paul Heyman writing this. You can tell. So kudos to them. The only downfall was they did not need a fast lane if there was 3 weeks into WrestleMania. If you would have just kept this off fast lane going into WrestleMania, this would have been the best feud going into WrestleMania. But I still think it's the best feud in WWE right now. What else we got? I love the new intensity of Chad Gable and Otis. I hope they walk out SmackDown Tag Team Champs. Roman, the Raw Tag Team Championships. New Day beat Hurt Business. Amos, and AJ Styles. Amos will make his in-ring debut. I predict Amos and AJ Styles will be walking out Raw Tag Team Champions. Even though I feel it's a downgrade for AJ Styles, in a sense, with this type of matchup. But I'm guessing, there's more belts for AJ Styles to collect in WWE. AJ Styles is a multi-time WWE champion. So I guess he needs to get a tag team belt. He has already been the United States champion. So I guess he needs, more in his portfolio in WWE. So I guess it would be cool between him and Utmost to get the tag team titles. But once again, WWE has either broken up or released their tag teams. So the issue is, do they create more tag teams? And I'd say yes, they do. The people you're not using, make them a tag team. There's tons of people you're not using. We know Andrade's released, okay? But Aleister Black, Ricochet, remember Aleister Black and Ricochet were tagging up in the beginning of 2019. I don't know if people remember that. NXT TakeOver, I believe, Phoenix or something. Ricochet and Aleister Black, they won that Dusty Tag Team Classic. They fought the War Raiders at that TakeOver. Then Ricochet and Aleister Black debuted. They fought for the SmackDown Tag Team Championships. They fought for the Raw Tag Team Championships all in the same week. So they're giving a heavy push. And they fought at WrestleMania. So they were a great tag team. I think they had a great chemistry. And I think both guys need something fresh. Ricochet, he may have been in the main event, but he got squashed by McIntyre. I think you need to turn him heel. I think Ricochet needs a mouthpiece. I prefer Vanessa Bourne because she has that sex appeal, and you pair Ricochet and Aleister Black together, and they become a tag team. I think that works. Uh, Riddick Moss and somebody else. I don't know. But that's that. Peace.